kick off the second half of the year. Let's get to the CME. Rick Santelli with the Santelli Exchange. Hey, Rick.
Morning, Carl. I like Art Cashin, and he said something that just makes my skin crawl. Not that Art isn't right. I think Art's mostly always right. But he said Goldilocks numbers, not too hot, not too cold. Market loves it. Just check out where the Dow futures, Dow cash, S&P futures, NASDAQ, all having a pretty robust day. When you look at the ISM numbers on a 3-month average, it's a couple of tenths above 50. The employment numbers dip below 50 on a week, dip below 49 on a week. That's going to show us two data points in the, of course, Bureau of Labor Statistics and ADP. It's all about jobs, but it's also about, you know, in general, most analysts and economists definitely try to spin weak into strong. There's just no doubt about it. You know, the cost-benefit analysis concept seems to get lost. You know, when you check out the Fed and you check it out versus, you know, inputs and outputs, what tends to happen is we have all these programs and we see what the data is. It's no surprise, I think, that we try to spin these mediocre, middling, Goldilocks, not too hot, not too cold numbers to keep the Fed in the game, but it really isn't about inputs and outputs. It's a there's very little cost-benefit analysis where we see cause and effect, the amount of time issues heal themselves versus these humongous programs that are ongoing. You know, but it doesn't stop there. There was a great piece on China in just about every publication, Wall Street Journal op-ed today, but in many publications about the same types of issues. And with them, maybe more specifically, and tied to the Fed as well, is their deposit rate and their lending rate, and how they keep the deposit rate low so they can create all this lending that seems to be in reversal. And now they're talking about, hey, we can't figure out why consumption's so weak. It's the same here. Everybody forsakes the savers. For savers are big consumers. So inputs and outputs. There's current issues where we can see how this works. Education is one. Is it really about the dollars, or is it about the output? Measurable output. Dollars, dollars, dollars. Immigration. You know, I don't want to get political here on the immigration front, but it certainly seems to me that just because you're designating spending billions of dollars on border security, it isn't about the input, it's about the output. We need a trigger that's measurable. Listen, anybody who doesn't think immigration, both sides of the aisle, is about boatloads, millions of votes, it is. But even in the horrible aspects of that with regard to politics, maybe great things can emerge. But I'll tell you what, if you're going to do a good immigration bill, have good measurable outputs. Inputs, forget about it. Never works, and it's always ultra political. Back to you.
Rick Santelli from the CME this morning. Thank you, Rick.